Hey, brothers and sisters, thanks for joining. I came across a story today about machetes in Australia. So I thought, this is a good thing to talk about. So I've got this story here from the AP news that machete gang fight in a shopping mall leads Australian state to bring forward ban. So it looks like Australia is going to ban machetes, or at least one of the states is. So let's read about it and let's see what we think about this. And if you've seen this or have any insight into it, hey, feel free to say in the comments, whatever you think. Please let me know because I don't really know much about this. I just started seeing stories about it today. It looks like it's been going on for really a couple of months because this story is from May. Um, so, Melbourne, Australia. An Australian state government is banning the sale of machetes after a violent gang fight in a suburban shopping mall injured a young man. Okay, so injured. So nobody was killed. That's good. Victoria Premier Jacinta Allen announced Monday the ban on the sale of large knives would take effect Wednesday after machete-wielding gang members clashed at a Melbourne mall on Sunday afternoon. See, I don't really like this. I don't think it's a good idea because, it's liberal governments keep banning everything and bad people keep finding ways to hurt people. Like, at the end of the day, if people are going to want to fight, they're going to fight. They're going to use bars, they're going to use hammers, they're going to use kitchen knives, whatever. I've been watching Luther lately and oh my God, there's no guns in Britain pretty much for the in any of these cop shows for the criminals, or very few. But oh my God, they're doing horrific things with hammers and nails and just other kind of edged kind of weapons that are perfectly legal. So yeah, I think banning weapons is really a fool's errand. You need to tackle why the people are using those weapons, and then the bad guys, throw the bad guys in jail. Let's not criminalize the entire population because there's a few bad actors. But let's go on. A 20-year-old man was seriously injured in the fight that involved 8 combatants armed with machetes. A police statement said 4 suspects had been arrested and charged by Monday. I will introduce as many laws as needed to get these dangerous knives off the streets, Allen told reporters. So yeah, this sounds just like the ninja sword law, which I also think is a waste of time in the UK. Yeah, what are you going to do next? Ban kitchen knives? The whole thing is just silly. Um, we will be bringing in place a ban on the sale of machetes here in Victoria, and this ban will be in place from midday on Wednesday under the consumer powers using these powers. Victoria will be banning machetes from being sold anywhere in the state, he added. Right now, Victoria is the only Australian state planning to ban machetes. I don't know if this is still true, but once one government bans something, generally I see the other ones follow suit. So it wouldn't surprise me if other states other than Victoria were doing it. And I've never been to Australia, so I really have no idea. Victoria is the only Australian state or territory that plans to ban machetes, broadly defined as cutting-edge knives with a blade exceeding 20 centimeters or 8 inches for Americans. Kitchen knives are not included with the ban. Oh, thank goodness. So if you've got an 8-inch kitchen knife, that's a pretty big kitchen knife, but I guess that's okay still. So that's good. At least there's that. They're not banning kitchen knives yet. Um, Possession of a machete will be banned with few exceptions in Victoria, Australia's second most populous state, from September 1st. Oh, okay. So I see that. That's kind of why I think I'm starting to see it because we're about a month out, and so I'm starting to see it pop up that they're going to ban these things. So we're getting close to that deadline. The ban on the sale of machetes was to have taken effect on that date. A 3-month amnesty will be given to people to dispose of their machetes at police stations and secure bins without penalty. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Regular law-abiding citizens who really don't have a large need for machetes will do this, but criminals will keep theirs, and I bet farmers keep theirs. Like machetes are very handy for cutting down brush. So if you're a farmer, you absolutely need one, I would think. And if you're a homeowner, just a homeowner, and you're living in an area that has heavy brush, you might need one. I mean, it's a tool. So it's just really silly, in my view, to ban tools that have lawful purposes. Uh, you can use anything to kill people. I saw John Wick, he used a pencil. Possession of a machete in Victoria would be punishable with up to 2 years in prison and a fine of more than 47,000 Australian dollars, about 31,000 American dollars. England and Wales banned possession of machetes and some other knives in September of last year. Yeah, I think that's that ninja sword ban, which I also thought was dumb. Yeah, I knew this. Australia has some of the toughest gun laws. Yeah, so I don't even need to read the rest of it. Nobody has guns anymore, so they have fights with machetes. When you take the machetes away, they're going to use hammers or screwdrivers. When you take those away, eventually going to run out of tools. But they're all a maniac can always just get in a car and run you over if they really want to. So you're chasing the wind on this one. It's definitely a fool's errand. All right, so Australia has some of the toughest gun laws in the world, and gun crimes are relatively rare, but knife crimes are becoming more common. No, imagine that. Who would have guessed? New South Wales, Australia's most populous state, and Queensland and South Australian states ban the sale of knives to children. Now see, I'm completely okay with that. I think children. I think parents should be the main people that manage children, but I do think the state has an interest in it as well. So I'm completely okay with banning knives to children. It's just uh, definitely whenever they hit the age of majority, you should restore those rights, in my view. So I don't know how old they consider as children for this purpose, but I'm actually okay with that, sorta. It, if that's what they feel like they need to do, great. I was a Boy Scout, and when I was a Boy Scout, we had knives. That was a thing you did, and we would go out, and I remember doing the Paul Bunyan badge. It wasn't really a merit badge. There was a Paul Bunyan badge that you had to chop down a real tree, not like a little one, a real big tree, and you had to like saw the top of it off so you make the stump flat, and then you could get your Paul Bunyan badge. And so I guess kids can't get that anymore in Australia because they can't have knives, right? So yeah, you got to watch these laws. There's these unintended consequences for regular law-abiding citizens are impacted by these laws. Machetes are currently controlled weapons that are allowed to be carried for legitimate purposes. Okay, all right. So that sounds good. They're controlled weapons, but legitimate purposes. So I'm assuming a farmer could have them. So okay, so that's better. But you know, Victoria is going to do a much stricter ban, but it does look like there's a general ban on them unless you've got a reason. And I'm actually sort of okay with that, sort of, but like a legitimate reason is I got a lot of brush around my house and I need to cut it down. So I don't like restricting law-abiding citizens' ability to get the tools they need and use the tools they need. Yeah, lock up the bad people and stop the crime, but why are we like not letting law-abiding citizens use legitimate tools? It just makes no sense to me. Around 40 officers responded to the fight between the rival gangs in Melbourne. Two alleged primary offenders were boys 15 and 16. Well, there you go. Aren't knives already banned? 15 and 16, are they not are they considered adults for the knife rule? Or maybe that was a different state. I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong. But it said something about children couldn't have knives. You know, yeah, New South Wales, Australia. Oh, so New South Wales and Queensland and South Australia ban the sale of knives to children. So I guess Victoria doesn't. Okay, fair enough. And yeah, and again, it's sale. They're gonna get them. If they want them, they'll get them. Shoot, you can make them. Uh, so the two alleged primary offenders were boys 15 and 16, were arrested at the scene and charged with using controlled weapon and other offenses. The boys, yeah, so they were already charged with a controlled weapon. So do we need a machete ban? There's already laws on the books that take care of this. You know, just apply those laws to those kids. Why do we need more laws? I'm generally not a fan of any new laws. I want less laws, not more laws. The boys were held in custody to appear in children's court at a later date. Two men, aged 18 and 20, were arrested Monday and charged in relation to the violence. They were released on bail. Yeah, I think it said above there were like 8 people involved. All four were known gang members. Okay, yeah, so they're all criminals. Okay, so you know, here we go. You got criminals, gang members, using already illegal weapons, restricted weapons, but because of everyone's safety, we've got to ban a useful tool for the general populace. Makes no sense to me. We need to stop the nanny state nonsense. That's how I would say it. Even like, they took away everyone's guns. People should have guns to defend themselves. And I've seen movies about Australia. I saw Crocodile Dundee. You guys have got alligators or crocodiles, and you've got like dingoes and all that. Like you actually have, animals that need to be controlled. Guns work great for that. So yeah, I think people, you're giving up your liberty for safety, and really the madness needs just to stop. Liberal governments keep adding law after law after law. Eventually, you won't be able to do anything. Anyways, that's what I think. If you like this, like, subscribe. If you don't watch me. But yeah, so I think this is government overreach. Again, we're just piling up new laws for no reason, and basically criminalizing regular law-abiding people. We, you know, so guys, vote in politicians who don't vote for all this kind of nonsense. All right, thanks. Bye.